Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Nielsen Ratings, our regular Tuesday show, which normally starts at 10 p.m. UK time. Slightly later today because I had to do a special backers stream with the Critical Drinker. But yeah, we're starting a little bit late. I'm here with my regular co-host, Stupenzo, who's in the house all the way from Texas, USA. As you can see from Keith, my moderator, I am just a few away from 5,500 subs. So guys, spread the word, do a little post for me if you can. Let's see if we can get to 500. No, Leroy, you have to have seen the film F1 to take part in today's stream, because that's going to be our main topic of conversation. But I will have you on the channel again soon. I've already got a very full house here today. So all the way from up north, it's the Northern Bastard.
Hello, you beautiful bastards. How you all doing?
Very hot, sir. It's Betty Swallocks all round here.
Yeah, I'm basically just wearing shorts and sliders right now, so that's why I'm best sticking with the avatar. Don't want to scare off all the female viewers if there is any.
And a previous guest who's been on the channel a few times. He is the king of the spiders. It's Critical. Also looks like Rasputin for those people that aren't sure.
It is true. I do look a bit like that. Yes, indeed. I've actually got spiders marching across my TV screen at the moment, so something's hatched recently. But yes, I'm all good. No, these are strays. These are probably baby false widows or something. I'm not breeding anything at the moment.
Whereas I have been invaded by ants, and I've got ants not in my pants, but they're certainly doing their best to get there.
See, I need to send some of these spiders over to you to take care of the ants. But
we've got major ant invasion here at the Outcasts headquarters. They're coming in thick and fast. Last but by no means least, the female member of the team, and thus obviously the most important. It's Rachel Perciar in the house.
Hey everybody.
How you doing?
Hey.
Representation, we're uncancelable now. That's it.
I like that. I like the way Northern Bastard suddenly became the Fonz there. Hey. So, just in case people aren't sure that we're on an episode of Happy Days, just going to say hello to the chat, because sometimes I forget to do that. Got wormy spoons in the house, you filthy animals. Leroy Peters, do check out his Western novels on Amazon. They're a great read. They're doing very well. Rob Faulkner. Evening, everybody. Just watched The Wild Geese, inspired by your talk on it a few weeks ago. In fact, you know what? I think I did a special stream on it, but that was probably over a year ago. It is on the channel if you want to have a look. It is a superb film, especially once it gets to Africa and away from London, where there's a few interior sets that look a bit wanky. But yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Aaron Charman is here. Axel Abode is here, and we have other people watching, no doubt. So we're going to recommend a few things, but I have given my panelists some homework a couple of weeks ago, and so we're going to talk about a couple of specific shows. I've just realised, because my keyboard's not working, I can't get up. I've only got a couple of my IMDb pages prepared, so if someone could get the IMDb page up for Waterfront and have it ready, I would appreciate that. Also, Toxic is due to come on the stream. Tox, oh, he's here. He is here. Here we are. Hey,
boss.
And now I'm the Fonz. Sorry.
No, you're good, boss.
Sorry, mate. My keyboard has not been charged, so it's just died on me. So I'm copying and pasting is basically all I can do.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Luke got it to me. It's no problem.
Excellent, fantastic. Blue Collar Loser, who was on the panel as a regular man, but presently is trapped under a bus, has just said, "I loved F1. I'm glad everyone is talking about it."
That's a second good news I heard about that. So
yeah, I mean we are gonna talk about that shortly. Who on the panel has seen the movie? I've seen it. Enzo?
No.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, so Northern's seen it. Rachel?
Yeah, watched it this morning.
Critical, have you seen it?
I've seen half of it.
Half of it, okay.
Unfortunately, yes.
Toxic, have you seen F1?
No, and I wasn't gonna, but I might do now, depending on what you guys say.
Do.
Okay.
Please do.
You got to.
Well, let's get into it then. We'll start with F1 today. It was my pick anyway. So I hadn't heard much about this movie when it was in production, which was a surprise because I've just learned that 3 people I know worked on it. One of them doubled for Kim Bodenia, who was in The Killing, Danish actor who's sort of kind of one of the guys on the F1 team, the Apex team. Critical Drinker's done a really great review on this. It's directed by the same guy who did Top Gun Maverick. It's a fictional story set within the factual world of F1 racing, about a fictional team that's going up against all the big boys, headed up by an older racer played by Brad Pitt, a younger racer played by Dame Idris. You've got the likes of Kerry Condon and Javier Bardem. The racing sequences in this are as good as the ones in Rush, if you've seen the film Rush, if not better. And it's 2.5 hours long, but I have to say I wasn't bored. It cracks along at a pretty good pace. Great acting, great music, looks amazing, looks beautiful, does what it says on the tin. And I just wasn't aware this movie was coming. I have to say, for me, so far, this is probably the best film of the year so far. I mean, that's not a big selection. I'm talking about stuff that's been at the cinema. We haven't been inundated with amazing movies. But I've got to give this a solid 8 out of 10. I very much enjoyed it, and I might even go and see it again. Northern, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, this has got to be my contender for film of the year because Joseph Krasinski does what a good director should do. He puts you in the driver's seat, for no pun intended, or maybe pun intended. I'll let you choose, but it's very cliched. You've seen all this stuff before, but yet the actors play it as if it's something new, and they kind of do bring a little bit of a freshness to this premise that we've seen thousands of times. And I did get Days of Thunder vibes from this a little bit. It kind of feels like it's almost an unofficial sequel to Days of Thunder, but in a good way. And every actor sells the role, and it is very intense. Every race, you kind of worried something is going to go wrong, and it puts you in. It really does put you in the situation that everyone goes through, even the people at the pit stops who have to get the tires together before in such a quick time and try not to make mistakes. You know, it's like it just keeps going and going. I mean, if I had to complain a little bit, it does feel a little bit too long, and you do feel the length, phrasing. But apart from that, there is a genuine heart there that I really love. And Brad Pitt, once again, he's very good in the role. And Damon Idris, I think his name is, he's very good as the cocky young newcomer who's got a lot to prove, but at the same time, he doesn't know every single thing. And I like the chemistry between Brad Pitt and Kerry Condon as well. They're actually got a very good back and forth thing going on, but it just feels very old school, and it leaves you feeling good at the end. It's very inspiring. You know, it's got redemption, everything. You know, putting your tragic past behind you, making up for your mistakes, and learning, and humility, and all that good stuff that we love in these movies. And Joseph Krasinski really does manage to capture that old school feel that a lot of movies are missing today.
Yeah, mate, that's a fantastic summary of this film. You summarize why it works, and I would also say I think this is way superior to Days of Thunder, because Days of Thunder is set in that weird kind of carousel thing, and it's just, you know, you can either go up into the wall or you can go down low. That's it. You're just going around in a circle.
It's got the cheesy lines as well, doesn't it? Like, you know, you put your head down and you drive. And I love that. I love that. It feels very old school Jerry Bruckheimer. And God, it just kind of takes me back to films like Con Air a little bit, where you had the cheesy lines, but you loved it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I highly recommend people see this on the big screen. Rachel, what did you think of it?
I loved it. I loved it from the very beginning, as soon as it started. Like, this is my kind of movie. I have a deep affection for racing films. Like Days of Thunder, I know. But that's one of my favorite movies, truly. One, because I love Tony Scott, and I think he nailed the feeling of NASCAR. But that's the thing about this movie. He knows how to make a film look like that style of film. He did it before with Maverick, and he did it again here. And I love that. I've been missing that in movies. And
have you seen Rush?
Yes. I would put this and Rush up against each other. I can't decide which one is better.
I love Rush. I saw Rush on a really big, great cinema screen, and I don't think I would have enjoyed Rush as much if I'd just seen it at home on Netflix or whatever. And this is the same. This is definitely a film that if you can see it on a really big screen, as Gooch says, he's in the house. Gooch is in the house. Itchy Gooch, definitely an Itchy Gooch day in England right now. This is a film that is made for cinema. We need more films like this because cinema is dying. So
I just like seeing Brad Pitt in films. He's on the charm offensive here. He's such a
can't believe he's 60 when he's got a body exactly like mine.
No, he's not 60, is he?
No, he doesn't have a body like yours, Lance. Come on, are you serious?
He's got to have some Dorian Gray style portrait of himself somewhere hidden.
Yeah. Guys, it's called human growth hormone. It's not magic. It's really simple, and it's just a few $1,000. Yeah, it's science, baby. Thank you. Science.
Holy crap, Brad Pitt is 61 years
old. I know.
Yeah.
It's always shocking, isn't it, when you look up his age?
No, I mean, I would have flat out said you was a liar if I had not just Googled that. That is crazy. That's Hollywood for you.
Critical, you've seen half of the movie.
Yes, I've seen half of it.
Just quickly on your thoughts, I mean, positive thus far?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually can't wait to watch the rest of it. As I said, Brad Pitt is on a charm offensive in this film. He just plays that likable American dude who's there to mentor the young upstart, the young talent, as it were. The directing is really kinetic. The race sequences are brilliant. It's not exactly realistic to Formula One. It's over dramatized a little bit.
It's a slightly.
It's a Bruckheimer movie. It's what you expect.
It's a movie version of the Formula One world, and I think that's absolutely fine.
If anybody watches Formula One expecting this, then they might be. Especially these days, it was better in the old days, in my opinion. But no, it's great. Really enjoyed it. Great performances. Also, Javier Bardem as the race team owner is also great. Just quality actors, quality director. Just doing their thing. It's not slop. It's really worth watching. What I've seen so far.
Ratings out of 10, I gave it an 8. Northern,
I give it a 9. It could have been trimmed down a little bit, but it's still there's still something. There is a genuine love there that I can't help but love it for.
Yeah, I may well give it a 9 when I've seen it a second time. We'll see. Rachel, what are you giving it?
Definitely a 9. Definitely. There might have been one storyline that I could have done without, but that's because I don't really go for the romance things in my racing movies. I can deal without it. But other than that, I love this. 9.
Okay. All right, we're going to move on. That's F1, everyone. Let's talk about Enzo's choice today. Enzo, what you got?
Well, we watched, what is it? There's Megan 2.0 and 28 Years Later we didn't get to talk about. And I guess there's a new season of The Bear. And, of course, there's Ironheart. But the thing that I would want to recommend is I was talking about Nathan Fielder's shows, Nathan For You and The Rehearsal. I don't know if you guys watched those yet. But there's actually a third show that I've heard about that I knew he acted in. It's a Showtime show. He acts in it, and it's a scripted show. But I didn't realize that he actually also created it, wrote it, directed it with Benny Safdie, who made Good Time and Uncut Gems and that new wrestling movie with the Rock coming out. And it's called The Curse, and it's fucking hilarious. It's so weird. Emma Stone and him are a couple, husband and wife, and they are basically having like a reality show that so it's like a show about a show. Benny Safdie plays the very ambitious, very very strange director of the show.
Can you pull up an IMDb for this? Because I can't type at the moment. My keyboard's dead. I'd just like to get some images up if you can.
2023. Here it is.
While you're grabbing that, Pitt and Cruz are indeed in their 60s. Guest Interview with the Vampire was a documentary.
Whoa.
Wow, that's deep, man. That's a deep thought from RRT and Z there.
You know who else is in their 60s? 60 years old, Monica Bellucci would. Yeah. So
would.
the curse.
Damn.
The curse is Emma Stone's great in it. Nathan Fielder is also the guy can actually act, I guess. So I guess I have to recommend all three Nathan Fielder shows. This show I think only has it's only got one season. But yeah, I don't know what we're gonna get away with showing in this show. The show actually has some pretty insane not safe for work crap. I don't want to spoil it at all. But basically, the premise of the first episode kind of gets it all going. Is they're in New Mexico trying to help indigenous people. They're basically got like this white savior complex with their show. Their whole point of the show is they're it's kind of like house remodeling / helping people like still afford their houses, helping people remodel their houses and keep their old rents, and benefiting the community. But they're being labeled as like hacks and white saviors and plagiarists. That's another thing they're doing. But yeah, it just gets really crazy because there's a lot of crazy stuff, but I guess the main point of the show, why it's called The Curse, is to kind of get some philanthropy points or whatever, some brownie points. The director's like, hey, there's a little girl right there selling some sodas. Just go give her some money and get it on some camera for some B footage, B-roll. And he's like, okay. But he only has $100 bill. And he's like, all right, well, hey, little girl, here's $100 bill. Just keep it. She's like, yay, I got $100. And he's like, all right. And he's like, do we get the footage? We got the footage. Okay. And he goes back to the girl. He's like, hey, I actually need that $100. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get change and I'll give you $20 and I'll keep the 6-pack. She's like, no, you gave me the $100. And he's like, but it's okay. I'm going to go to the ATM or I'm going to go inside the store and buy something and get some change. And she's like, I curse you. I put a curse on you. Like, she's this little black girl, possibly Middle Eastern or Northern African. I don't know. They're like immigrants, it looks like. And it doesn't seem like that's a big deal, when this little girl puts a curse on him. But it gets so fucking stupid. I would just recommend the show with saying as little as possible.
Did I see a clip of Russell Brand in there?
No, that is director Benny Safdie.
Oh.
That's him right there. I didn't recognize him for the first 20 minutes, and keep in mind he's really awesome. I love the movie Good Time. Good Time is so good. I know a lot of people don't like Uncut Gems. It's pretty.
I like that film.
I liked Uncut Gems a lot, but I did like Good Time more. Good Time was really wild. And if you guys watched Uncut Gems or Good Time, really great soundtrack from Anya Trick's Point Never, which is really trippy kind of 80s sounding synth music that really on this comedy show really adds this level of subtle darkness to it all.
I'm guessing the character's unlikable bastard as well, but you still kind of gripped onto him.
Well, he's not really unlikable as much as I don't know. Yeah, misguided. You feel kind of sorry for him. I don't. Minor spoilers. Nathan Fielder's micro penis is a huge plot point, and you do see a lot of it. So, warning.
Sold. Well, I wasn't going to watch it.
You said minor spoiler when you set that up.
Yeah. I feel like I got to tell you guys, the show's insane. Okay, I don't want to tell you much. And Emma Stone. This is what I would call a truly brave role of hers, kind of like with Poor Things. She's doing some shit on camera that it's wow. Okay. This little footage we're seeing right here is tip of the iceberg type stuff. It's 10 little hour-long episodes. It was on Showtime a couple years back. You could tell they were kind of filming it during COVID or during the tail end of COVID. Yeah. Do you see some people with masks here and there or whatever, but it doesn't seem to change the show at all. It works. It actually works for the show. But yeah, this is what I would recommend.
What are you giving this out of 10?
I haven't completely finished it yet. but like it's gonna be, if it's gonna be on level with the other Nathan Fielder shows, it's gonna be easily an 8, maybe even a 9. Like I did the other 2 shows were 9s. So yeah, I'm a huge Nathan Fielder fan now. Basically, this guy's a genius. He's hilarious.
All right. Well, I want to check that out. We're going to move on then. Okay. Thank you very much, Enzo. Now, this was another show that I asked people to watch. Not that one. This one. Damn you, StreamYard. Yeah, I saw this was on Netflix, and you see, I always look at the actors that are in these new shows because there's so many new kind of drama shows. You know, the premises. There's quite a few that are in a sort of similar road, and I think a lot of them are trying to be like the next Ozarks, maybe this kind of thing. You know, there's quite a few shows where it's a typical working class family that works in some particular kind of industry, but because of hardship and something, they get involved in some aspect of criminality, and the Waterfront is one of those shows. I liked the look of it, as I say, because of the cast. You've got a really strong cast in there. One of the younger actors is from Animal Kingdom. So I watched the first episode and I thought, well, I want to get other views on this. So Toxic, I know you've seen it. I think Critic Hour, I think you've seen the first 3.
That's right.
episodes.
Yeah, first 3.
Northern, I think you've seen the first ep.
Yeah, I've watched the first 2 episodes at the moment, and it's seeming not. Are you getting to me to talk my views, or are you just?
No, not yet. I just want to see. I just want to work out who's seen it. Rachel, I think you've seen it. You've seen at least the first one.
I saw the first episode.
Stupenzo, are you familiar with the show?
Nope.
No. Okay. All right. So
I just know what's his name's in it from Fight Club and all these other movies.
All right.
Holt McKinney.
We'll go down the row. So I'll offer my thoughts last. Rachel, ladies first. Then go ahead.
The funny thing is, this morning I was just browsing Netflix, and I was going to watch this morning, and changed my mind at the last minute. And then you're like, "Oh, by the way, you need to watch the series before we come on." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
No, in my defense, I said if you could watch episode 1. I didn't say watch the series, like all of it. I said I just wanted people to watch episode 1. Obviously, some people committed to more. So sorry, continue.
I was tempted to be like Enzo and watch it at double speed so I could get through it faster, but I didn't, thank goodness, because I would have missed stuff. And if you would have told me this is a Kevin Williamson show, I wouldn't have had any doubts.
Scream?
Yes.
Cursed?
Yeah.
Yes. I love this. This is a great show. And when I saw his writing credit, I was like, that makes sense. All of it makes sense.
I think he cut his teeth in Dawson's Creek, if I remember rightly. That's
he did.
Yeah,
well, maybe I know what you did last summer. Maybe might have come out right around the same time or first.
I know what you did last summer. I know what you did last summer was written first, but Scream came out first.
Right.
And then Dawson's Creek and all that followed out.
Haha. Thank you, Rachel.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah,
so, I mean, Rachel, what is it about the show? Obviously, you're saying it's got good writing, which is, I would agree. What else about the show is it that's making it stand out above the rest for you?
Top tier cast. Everybody's great. Even the kid is great in this. It's a little bit of a pain, but kids are like that, I suppose. And everybody has an excellent storyline underneath the overarching storyline where everybody is screwed. In the first episode, you know that this isn't going to go well for anybody. But I'm here for it. I want to see how it all crashes and burns.
All right. What would you give it out of 10 so far?
Well, just from the first episode, I would say it's an 8. Just on the first episode. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Okay. Northern, a concise view, and then your rating out of 10.
So far, I'm only on 2 episodes, but it seems okay. I mean, I'm kind of getting a little bit of a Bloodlands vibe crossed with Ozark a little bit. You know, you got this family who's involved in this dark thing right now, and the dad's pretty cool. But yeah, the son is a pain in the ass. I mean, when you get involved with dangerous people, don't be surprised when dangerous shit start happening. I mean, he is a bit of a tit. He's kind of put them in a bit of a situation here, and you kind of understand why, but he's basically just made things worse, and now the dad has to try and clear things up. But it just seems okay. I'm going to try and continue to watch it later. I mean, if I had to give a rating so far, I give it maybe a 7 out of 10. Once I finish the full series, I can give a proper rating.
Fantastic, and I definitely wasn't taking a wee. Okay, good. So, Critic Cow, jump in.
Okay, so the reason I watched the first 3 episodes is after the first episode, I didn't give a crap about any of the characters. I just didn't care. I didn't like any of them. I thought they were all just horrible people. After watching 3 episodes, I'm absolutely sure that I don't like any of the characters. They're all horrible people. Everybody's having sex with people that aren't there. Everybody's having sex with people that aren't their partners. Everybody's an arsehole. I kind of like the patriarch of the family. He is a no-nonsense kind of. He's been there before. His grandfather run drugs back in the day. I kind of get that side of it. But everybody else is just kind of infuriating, particularly the kid who just needs a slap. But I do think it is quite well acted overall. And for people who like this kind of thing, I think you're going to enjoy it. There's a lot of twists and turns. There's a lot of things that happen. It's fairly gory in places, but it's just not my kind of thing, I have to say. Give me some spaceships and explosions in it instead.
We're getting some comments about it in the chat. If you have seen it thus far, give us your rating out of 10.
I'd give this like I'd give it a 7 out of 10 because I can identify that it's fairly decent, if somewhat derivative. It's just not my kind of thing, in all honesty.
All right, toxic.
I'm not seeing Walkerness in it though, which is good. It's just but yeah, the characters are kind of.
You haven't got to the gay dude yet. no, I would say no. It's not. It's not Logue.
Stop taking up Toxic's time. All right, Toxic. Your time now -30. Thanks to Northern.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, you know, I got to be careful because I don't want to poison the well. And if you guys are liking this, I want you to like it. I never want anyone to not like something. This is the reason why I follow in line with Stupenzo's view of wait until you know the whole thing is out before getting invested. Because I was invested in it. Rachel was correct. It is a banger ass cast, but it's got so much stuff that, like Critical Owl says, that's derivative. It's really nauseating, and I wanted to like this so bad because it had so much going for it, but there's stuff I can't ignore. And without going into spoilers, so I'm very familiar with Kevin Williamson's work. My first wife was obsessed with Dawson's Creek, so she forced it upon me. And I've seen, of course, Scream, and I know what you did last summer and all that stuff. And you know, it's so funny because as soon as I found out he was the showrunner, I was like, no wonder they got Timu Joshua Jackson from Pacey from freaking Dawson's Creek on here. I couldn't figure out why they got him on here because I had just watched Animal Kingdom, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, and so they clean him up a bit, but he's basically Joshua Jackson. Anyone who knows the lore of Dawson's Creek, they know that Kevin Williamson had a huge boner for Josh Jackson, and that's why he made him the showrunner, even though the show was called Dawson's Creek. So I thought that was kind of creepy. It really made me sad to see Maria Bello has gone so far into the surgery and the bow tie. Like, her face is expressionless mask throughout the entirety of the series. The writing goes, they start off Ozark and then they go into like the worst of Sons of Anarchy. So like when Sons of Anarchy started getting really ridiculous, that's what this show, or Yellowstone. So it's kind of a combination of that, but it starts off really strong. And it was really great to see Melissa Benoist, I don't know how to say her name. The girl from Supergirl, I've really liked her, but again, it's that thing where I've cautioned celebrity women, don't smoke, because if you smoke, you're going to look like you're 50 when you're really 25 or whatever. So she looks, but I mean, she has the background that she has an addiction, so there's a reason for that. But the plot contrivances, They start doing this thing in the writing where everybody is just playing hot potato. So one character will cause a disaster in an episode, then they fix it, and then the next episode is a different character not learning any lessons from the previous character, making a huge mess, then the other character saying they're going to fix it, then they hot potato and they give it to the next person, and every single one of their problems comes from something they themselves did. Every single thing they do. Now, I did like Holt McElhenney. I do like him in a lot of the stuff, especially in this role. He's basically, if you want to know what my father was like, it was this guy. It was this guy if he was rich. But I mean, it's basically this guy. You know, he's back into the criminal life and he loves it. And you know, everybody is like Critical Owl said, everybody's unlikable except the one gay guy who also has ninja skills. He's the only one that's a redeemable good character. They have
on the plus side though, he's not camp. He's not really camp, which is good.
It's
not like the drag queen from Ironheart or anything.
No, nothing like that. No, it's just like an aside. He's like, oh, by the way, I'm gay. You know, check the box. I'm gay. I'm your long lost son. Yada yada yada. And I'm a ninja undercover. And I'm a really good person. But everybody else is completely deplorable. Now, if you like that soap opera-y stuff, then you'll love this. If you have some clothes to fold and some chores to do around the house, which I have, or if you're hanging out with your girlfriend who's on vacation, and you just want to have stuff that has some good-looking people doing horrible things, then that's fine. I will say there's an actor that comes in halfway through the season, excuse me. And he is I don't want to give it away, but he's a complete game changer. And he chews the scenery, but he made the rest of it very watchable to me because he's such a great over the top cheesy villain. So in that he elevated it from a meh kind of 5, and I'm willing to give it a 6 just for this one particular actor's performance coming in halfway. But I mean, it's ludicrous. Other than that, near the half end, the last couple episodes are just so ridiculous. It's like one thing to have a sheriff in your pocket. It's another thing I lived in North Carolina. There's no way the state police wouldn't come out for these gunfights that are happening. They're so over the top and ridiculous. But yeah, I've heard they're going for season 2. So I don't know, maybe they'll make it more grounded, but I feel like they'll probably go more over the top. So like I said, starts off strong, ends really, out of pocket for whatever that's worth.
Okay, well, this is interesting that we have some conflicting views, because that's one of the reasons why I wanted people to watch it, because I thought, well, I want to see this because the cast and
Is this one of those shows that would have been better as like a movie?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about that, but I listen. I've only seen one episode. Toxic sounds like you've seen the whole first season. Yep. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Dedication to the cause. Thanks, man. So, I mean, basically, I saw one episode and I thought, I'm not sure if I like this, and I've got issues with it, but there's a lot about it I do like. I thought the writing on the whole was pretty strong. I thought the setup for the pilot was good. And I thought the acting was great. Good casting. Look technically.
Great cast. Great cast.
Great cast. Technically, it all looks good. But I agree with Critic Out and Toxic to a lesser extent. There wasn't one character where I was like, I'm really into this character. I want to find out, what's going to happen with them. Whereas if you watch the pilot of The Shield, which is a perfect pilot, you're very invested in Vic Mackey, because this guy is you just don't know what you're going to do. But the pilot also makes you care about him as well as hate him, which is very clever. And then you've also got characters like Dutch and Wagenbach and Claudette, and their relationship, even just in the pilot, is beautifully set up. I love that. I didn't get the dynamic between the husband and wife is kind of cool. That sort of, she catches him in bed, but she doesn't care. He's in bed with someone else. She doesn't care. Clearly, this is a precedent. He's done this loads. There was some stuff like that was kind of great, but I did get to the end of the pilot and I thought, do I care what happens to any of these people? So much so that I've got to watch the second episode now. And the answer to that was no.
Yeah.
So I think my view on it is the same. Is it's not a bad show. In fact, it's got a lot of good qualities. but it is a show full of characters that you're really just going to hate and they're going to piss you off. So, yeah, I probably, with Toxic on this, I'll probably give it, based on, I've only seen one episode, 6 out of 10 on the pilot for me. And 8.5 out of 10 for the acting. Absolutely. Actors do a first-class job.
The acting, all the acting is on point. I fault, if I fault anything, and I'm kind of surprised you said the writing was good, because I feel like a lot of the writing, I don't, and maybe it's too much of my critical eye.
Remember, I've only seen the pilot. I thought the setup, the writing for the setup, and the characters were interesting. Okay, but I just didn't care enough about anybody. So
I just felt
good,
like,
but it could have been better.
Yeah, I felt like that. I was listening to it, and I was like, people don't talk like this. People, it's their dialogue is just a little too clever, and I'm like, where have I heard that before? Oh, now I know, Dawson's Creek. So I pull up the IMDb, and sure enough, Kevin Williamson. So I'm like, well, there you go. That's why your protagonist looks like Pacey, and that's why people are saying things just a little bit too clever. Like the writing's just none of the writing seems very naturalistic, and then, which I can allow if the story is good and the acting is good. But then when we start having the craziness that develops in the latter half of the season, I would like you to continue, if you have the time, maybe just to let me know what you think of this character that pops in midway through the season, and let me know, because I think he's one of the best villains I've ever seen in a TV show in a long, long time.
Which actor is playing that role?
Well, I don't want to spoil.
Okay. All right.
Would it be spoiling if I told you, or
Topher Grace?
No, I mean not. No.
Well, Enzo did it.
Yeah, there you go.
Nailed it.
Great. It's Grady. Yeah,
I love Topher Grace. He's always he's always great.
He's the only one that isn't in the show yet, so.
I thought the scripting was a little bit off, and I also felt that the beat, although you couldn't necessarily tell exactly what was going to happen, you knew exactly when something was going to happen, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Because it was derivative in that way.
All right, interesting.
Remember when Topher Grace played himself in one of the Ocean's 11 movies? Was it Ocean 11 or Ocean 12? Anyway,
yeah,
that's good.
Topher Grace has pretty much carved out a niche for himself, playing these kind of pseudo psychotic characters, but
little assholes.
They're like goofy and charming, but also like really dangerous at the same time.
I love because he was in that 70s show, and then he was in Traffic, where he was like the freebasing yuppie kid with the fucking GPA 4.0. That was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll move on from Waterfront. Did anybody not give it a rating who should have done? Any other ratings for it? Okay. All right. I've got one other choice that I didn't give you for homework, which I do have the IMDb page up for. And I stumbled on this completely by accident. It's called Long Distance on this poster, but actually the title is Distant. So if you look it up, it is a cross between, if you imagine that Aliens and Enemy Mine had a bastardized son, that's this film. So it's about.
Wait, didn't the Aliens and Enemy Mine have a bastard son?
They did.
Right.
Maybe they did. So it's basically about this guy who is a bit like, sort of starts a bit like Passengers. You know, he's on a ship, he's in cryo sleep. Something goes wrong. An asteroid, hits the ship, damages it. Everybody's going to be evacuated. He's got this cool kind of app that actually has been outlawed. That's got the voice of the Zachary Quinto, who plays Spock, of course, in the new Star Trek. And so the ship crash lands on this planet. Various survival pods shoot off. The pods have got cool stuff in them, but his suit's been punctured, so he's only got 37 minutes of air. And he's in touch with this girl who might be the only other survivor until he meets this other crazy guy who then, something happens to him. But if he can get to the girl in time, the girl has more oxygen. This is the other guy from Game of Thrones who's also in the movie. I mean, it's it's shot on a big soundstage with a lot of green screen, but do you know what? I liked it. I thought it looked good. Al, you'll like it because there's kind of alien type spider things, which you can see in the background of this shot if you look closely. And I think the creatures in it are really well done. There you go. That's probably their set, basically. Oh, but it's a good little film. It's a good little independent sci-fi movie with a good cast. Good acting. I was not bored. and I was quite invested in the main guy, and I just I thought this is a bit of a hidden gem. I really like this film.
I was going to say that's the guy who plays the Hood in Ironheart, and as bad as Ironheart
and
is,
Naomi
he's
Scott
not
from
terrible.
Smile 2.
Yeah, Naomi Scott's great in this. I give this a solid 8. I liked it almost as much as I like Enemy Mine, and Enemy Mine is a favorite of mine, which I also have the vinyl soundtrack for, of course.
Nice.
But yeah, great film. Has anyone else seen it? I don't think you probably have, but
no.
All right, we'll move on. So that's Distant. Do check that out. It's available now on various nefarious places. Okay, we'll move on. So someone's going to recommend one of my favorite films of all time, Midnight Run. Such a good movie.
Yes. Love this movie. Love this movie.
Yeah.
Is this yours, Northern?
No, that's one of mine, boss.
Okay, so Charles Grodin very sadly passed away a couple of years ago, but this was the film that introduced me to him. It's in my book, 1988. I saw it in the States. It opened the same week as Die Hard, I think, or maybe a week later. And I thought, this looks interesting. And it's directed by Martin Brest, who also directed the first Beverly Hills Cop, and I think he also directed Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino. This is one of the best buddy movies ever made because these two actors are just so good together. But yeah, I mean, jump in, Tox. So this is one of my signature movies growing up that would be on cable like all the time, and I watched it and I just thought it was super interesting. You'd not seen anything like this as far as like funny buddy cop movies. I mean, they had like 48 Hours and stuff like that, but just the way in which they do it. And then as I got older and ironically started doing this job, you know, bail bondsman and getting people for court and process serving and stuff, I just thought this is so great. And when you're a kid, like, you know, all the usual suspects. Like, I knew who Robert De Niro was. I knew who Charles Grodin was. I knew who, John Aston was and all that stuff. And you get to see these people. I mean, it's such a movie of its time, and it's so well written, and, you know, it has that ticking clock thing going for it. And then it's kind of at the end subverts your expectation a little bit, to the point that I think that some people today maybe wouldn't like it because they would be expecting like a big gunfight or something like that to happen, where it's just, you know, De Niro's character, kind of Jack, he outsmarts the bad guy in such a way that it, you know, and John Aston's just great in it. This is John Aston's best acting role of his career.
I would agree.
Such a great.
I would agree, but it's also it's also my favorite Charles Grodin, especially the scene
Definitely.
where they have no money and they pretend to be Secret Service agents to get money. Right? It's like, we're gonna do
get them all the time.
Yeah, was it a redhead? Oh, it was a brunette. That's our guy.
Yeah.
God, this movie is so good. And then just, you know, it's one of those things that if you haven't seen it in a while, I'm so blessed with my Plex Pass, because one of these gems will pop up in the Plex Pass under a recommendation. I'll just like, hell yeah. And I'll put it on, and I don't have to worry about like searching for it on another streaming service or whatever. And it's just as funny, maybe even funnier today than I'd seen it a long time. And I catch little stuff, you know, that I hadn't caught, like the cop in the beginning when he brings in his first bail enforcement thing in the movie. And the cop's like, hey, what are you doing here? The vending machines don't need to be serviced till next week. And when I was a kid, I didn't understand that reference. I didn't know what we were talking about. And then as I've gotten older, and he's like, he's an ex-disgraced cop. So they look at people who do this kind of PI scut work as like lower people. And, you know, it's got Joey Pants in an early role. He's just great in it. You know,
there's the Blu-ray that I got.
Nice.
I got last year, in fact.
Nice.
And I was supposed to go and do a talk on this film with a fellow filmmaker friend of mine, because he realized no one at his work, in his work office, had seen it. So for the Christmas party, I think they had some tradition at this workplace where they would show a film before they have the party and people would pick it. And it was his turn. And he picked Midnight Run because no one had seen it. And I was going to come in and do a talk with him, but that's when I came down with my chest infection, so I couldn't go in.
Is it?
But yeah,
it's still in the cellophane?
No, dude, I've watched it. This is open. Okay. It's just very shiny. No, I've opened it.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with protecting it, Lance. It's totally fine. But
I DVD as well. I've got the DVD.
I like the fact that, I mean, I know he's not super popular with most of us now, but De Niro especially back in the day, he was known to be like these, he'd play these, gangster movies, psychotic heavy movies, yada, yada, yada. And he can do comedy.
He can do comedy.
And he's funny as shit. And he's funny in a way that he's sort of the straight man in a lot of ways. They're kind of both straight men, but kind of both goofballs at the same time, but unintentionally. It's just the things
Alonzo Mosley, FBI.
Right.
Yeah, it kind of has an Elmore Leonard feel where the characters don't realize they're in the job.
Yes, it really does. I would not be shocked if you found out some kind of way that like Elmore Leonard did like a screenwriter touch up on it, because it gives very Elmore Leonard vibes in it. It's just such a fun movie, man. It's one of those, you can pop it on and it doesn't matter, and the jokes are still as funny as they were 40 years ago, and it's just great. I can't say enough good. I mean, I can't just keep saying it's awesome. I mean, it is. If you haven't seen it in a long time, pop it on. If you've never seen it, get to a screening of it somewhere and watch it, because it's so good.
Is there anyone on the panel that has not seen this film?
I have not seen this film.
Yeah, I mean, one other thing I'll say about it is the supporting cast in this are all absolutely fantastic. Yeah, you've even got people. You've got one guy who is in it. The guy Jerry. How about I go and get some donuts? Now that guy is from The Sting. He was in The Sting with Paul Newman and Robert Redford. You've got the wonderful Yaphet Kotto, who's sadly no longer with us. John Ashton, who's also sadly no longer with us. But yeah, I mean, and
Dennis Farina.
Yeah, Joe Pantoliano as well.
Dennis Farina pretty much has the best quotes in it, as well as like, you look at me again, I'm going to jam this phone right into your skull.
I'm going to stab you through the heart with this fucking pencil.
Stab this pencil in your heart.
Yeah, this is the. By the way, this is the UK poster, except of course it was.
This is like a hard action movie right here.
No, come on, that's not like.
It's got a couple of really good action scenes. The scene with the helicopter.
He means the poster, Lance.
Yeah,
that poster
the poster
makes it look like
is a very like, this is the Midnight Run, Robert De Niro, Charles Grodin. But it's like, no, the other posters where he's like carrying Charles Grodin over his shoulder,
right?
That's those are better.
It's a lot more whimsical. But it's serious enough to where you do worry in certain things about like what's going to happen with the characters. And I love the old school like all the like little tricks that John Ashton and De Niro use on other people and against each other are like all like the old school PI tricks that you have to do when you don't have a big infrastructure. Like him getting Jack's credit card canceled so he can't move, so that he has to go on a bus.
Or that card, huh?
Yeah.
They do put the characters in a very desperate situation every time, like especially like you mentioned, the credit card's cancelled, so they have to resort to other measures to try and get money and travel, blah blah blah, all that stuff.
You know what I love? The one scene where they're in the bus station and he's trying to like he doesn't have enough money for the bus trip, and the lady, he tries to like bulldoze the lady and show her the badge and be like, so I'm gonna need you to give me a ticket because I gotta get this suspect in, blah blah. And she's like, the name on that badge does not match the name on the credit card you gave me before, so do you want me to call the FBI on you? And I was just like, it's that kind of clip, man. It is like you sure called it, Luke. It is like an Elmore Leonard thing. And then and the big reveal at the end, which I won't say for spoil for Critical.
No, that's a good scene. I love this scene. These things go down. These things go down. These things go down.
You don't shut up, you're going to get fistophobic. I love Charles Grodin as well, because he gives you this appearance like he's this very meek, mild-mannered guy, but he's actually quite a crafty little bastard.
Yeah, because he's flying the plane later, and he's like, "You bastard!" He's taking his guy down the runway in that little plane. Oh man, it is such a good movie. Probably, I would say this is John Ashton and Charles Grodin's best film, without a doubt.
Agreed.
And it's definitely, I would say it's probably one of De Niro's top 5, because you didn't realize you had this kind of range until you saw this film.
Yeah,
and he really does. His timing.
I love the two mob goons that they.
Oh yeah, when they're on the phone.
Everyone's got their own little character, and
they have.
It's Sharon.
John Ashton tries to outsmart them, and you think they're just these two dumb wops that are just like goons for the mob or whatever. But then he's like, he lays John Ashton out. He's like, "What are you doing? We got to know where he hit the guy." And he's like, "Look, it says it right here." And it's like the picture he gave him was they had a towel of the hotel or whatever. And it's like everybody's just more clever than, you know, like they're stupid in some ways, but more clever than, you know, and this is just such great freaking writing. It's just the whole plot is just, it just goes at a breakneck pace from the beginning all the way to the end. Everybody's sympathetic. You know, you feel for Jack for his situation. All he wants is his fucking coffee shop. And then but you also feel for Charles Grodin because it's like he did the right thing in turning in the mob. And then, you know, and there's not some big corny thing where he's like, "Hey, we're going to team up and take down Dennis Farina because he ruined my career." And Jack's still like, "No, I'm taking you in because there's a bounty on you," and that's it, you know.
And he's got like a reputation that he wants to maintain. But it's I like, one of my favorite scenes is when they go into that diner and the woman says, "What?" Charles Grodin says to the waitress, "What's your special today?" And she says, "Chorizo and eggs." Chorizo and eggs. What is that, please? And she sort of describes it, and they haven't eaten anything, they haven't drunk anything for ages. They've got about like 37 cents, and she describes this wonderful sounding breakfast, and he's about to say something, and De Niro just goes, "Yeah, we won't be having that." This scene as well. This scene with the daughter, man. This scene is fucking heartbreaking, and I tell you what, this actress, I don't know what she went on to do, but she was great in this.
Is that
scene.
young Amanda Peterson?
No, sadly not. No, Danielle Duclos, would you pronounce that? She only 9 credits, man. So she quit acting she did a little short in 2004.
She was in Spies Like Us.
Yeah, but not much else. No, Signs of Life. Not Spies Like Us.
Oh, sorry.
I don't see Spies Like Us on here. No.
Well,
it does give you context into why he is the way he is, and you can really understand as well. I mean, Jesus Christ, this guy's life was destroyed, and all he wanted to do was be a good guy, doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great film, guys. If you haven't seen it, I can tell you now, my rating for this movie is an unquestionable 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. It's almost perfect. It is.
Yeah, I mean, well, I can't floor it, actually. There's not a criticism I could lay on this movie, so it's a 10 for me. Rachel, have you seen it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it, and I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
All right. Yeah, it needed another cat scene for you to get a 10.
Yeah, there we go. More cats. That'll do it.
No cats, yeah.
That's weird. This isn't one that I really see hit many sort of top 10 or top 50 lists then, if it's that good.
It did okay when it came over here. It did better in America, but it did okay. A lot of people weren't sort of, De Niro in a comedy. I think. But
definitely. Yeah, I'm surprised
I was working at
that early.
I was working at the cinema when it came out because I'd come back from America by then. I was back in my cinema job. This came out, I think, about 6 months to a year later, after Die Hard even. So this was released, I think, in the summer of '89 in the UK. It was the summer of '88 in the States. And it did all right. I mean, I was recommending it to people left and right that were coming.
Did you put this in your book? I don't remember seeing it.
It is in the book.
It's in his book.
It's in 1988. It's not in Silver Screen Journeys. It's in 1988.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
If we're at the beginning of Silver Screen Journeys, I say I'm not including all the films I wrote about in the book 1988 because I'd just be repeating myself. So Midnight Run is there are like 5 films that I rated as the top 5 films I saw in America, and I think this was number 2 after Die Hard.
Gotcha.
So someone
needs to get hold of 1988 then.
Someone wants us to talk about Yub Nub, Icha Yub Nub,
just
yeah. So who's
me.
Responsible for this?
It's me. If you'll indulge me, I know I'm exceeding my.
Said one choice only.
Okay.
Well. Go on quickly.
Well,
quickly.
because I was busy watching the kiddo, and he's watching the stuff that he wants to watch. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna put on a classic, and like I said, the Plex Pass has the untampered with version. It's even listed that way as like unmarked version of. So the one we grew up with, the one that came out in the theaters, the one that came out in cinema, not refurbished and added scenes and all this different malarkey. And I put it on, and not only did it, I had not seen it in many years, and it gave me like some of the greatest nostalgia, and it just really reminded me how utter dog shit Star Wars. I mean, I've listened to all the arguments about Mandalorian and the prequel trilogy, and maybe even the sequel trilogy, and Andor. Listen, you can't. None of that is even. They're not even in the shadow of this, and this isn't even my favorite one. I'm a big Empire fan. So I rate them Empire, A New Hope, and this. But we've been bombarded by so many recuts and reboots and reimaginings, and so I just watched the real one. And you know what? The little brat kid, he watched it and he was entertained by it, and he wanted to see more Star Wars. And sadly, I told him there's nothing else except for the trilogy.
So that's where it ended. Real shame. Such a shame.
Yeah,
so he can go back and watch the 2 films before this first.
Yeah. And it just, I just thought, like, listen, I don't want to come off as a boomer, but I am just saying, like, there's nothing that Star Wars, anything that they have, even some of the stuff I liked, and I did marginally like Mandalorian, and I did like Rogue One, but none of that can compare to the gravitas that this film trilogy had, the unencumbered with extra scenes and extra musicals and extra stuff, and Han not shooting first but shooting back, and all that garbage that we've been subjected to for 30 years that people even tell themselves is not garbage. No, this is it, man. This is the holy trinity. This is the holy trilogy of movies, and there's nothing that can even come close to it. And just watching it again, was great.
It's good that he got to see the Yub Nub version, which is obviously very important. Blue's going on about the Running Man trailer. I'm quite a big fan of the Schwarzenegger Running Man film. I haven't seen it. I'll tell you what we'll do when we get to the end of the show. We'll put it on and watch it, because I'll no doubt have to get it chopped off.
Yeah,
cool. I've not seen it yet. I'm very intrigued with being next to right.
We'll stick it on. It's
one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite Stephen King books. Lance, if you're looking for a redo of the '87 movie, you're not gonna be happy, because that's not what it is.
I'm not looking for anything. I'm just curious to see. I don't think we needed it, but I'm curious to see what the trailer looks like. Let's wait and see.
Okay.
In a little bit. Has anybody got anything else they want to recommend this week that we haven't yet covered? Criticality. Do you have something?
We didn't cover 28 weeks later, because that was last year.
28 years, isn't it? Later, 28
that's
years.
What I'm saying. 28 years. Yeah.
We've never covered 28 weeks later, because you just don't talk about that film. Let's cover that then, because I think that's quite an important movie to be talking about. I've only seen the first 20 minutes of this, but I'm going to guess some of my panel have seen it all, so that's okay.
Yeah. Avoid the rest after that, mate. Avoid the rest after that.
Yeah. I talked about it for a bit on Nadia's, but I mean, overall, it was okay. It was disappointing. The trailer was better than the movie. I mean, I did like the thing is, this could be good if the next one's good. I mean, it's one of those dumb movies where it's like,
does it have that kind of ending?
It's like Matrix Reloaded. Like, I can't accurately rate it until the next one comes out, which is annoying as all hell. But I do understand what they're trying to do here with the controversial ending, which I guess we don't need to talk about specifically. But the thematics of like growing up, being a man, putting away childish things. I think that's the thing about the bad guys at the end is like comparisons to Jimmy Savile, and also
I heard about that, the mask.
But also hearing that it's like a good a comparison to grown men who don't put away their childish things. I don't know. It's just like they're obviously it's gonna grow up to be it's gonna be revealed to be some kind of evil cult or something. They're gonna be bad guys. I don't know. Also, I thought it was very interesting. This is actually kind of something that I don't think I've heard anyone else say. I talked about it on Nadia's show, but Godzilla 2014. We thought we were going to get a movie starring Bryan Cranston, and then they pull the rope on us and replaced him with his son, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. In this movie, we thought we were going to get a movie starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, and all of a sudden the rug gets pulled out of us, and all of a sudden the son is now the star of the movie. We don't even, it's just like, what? It's
I didn't
like
know.
poetry.
I didn't
It
know that
rhymes.
was Bryan Cranston's son. Actually, I didn't know.
No, I'm sorry. Brian,
Not
the
in re-
movie, the character. Yeah.
Oh right, not in
Godzilla.
real life. So I was thinking,
Yeah,
when did he have
yeah.
this illegitimate child? I'm not familiar with this story. But the
No,
whole
but
Jimmy,
yeah. That was
family-
one of big criticisms is like, for no reason whatsoever, we just kind of forget Aaron Taylor Johnson's in the movie when we could have totally done something better with him. Also, yeah, I mean, I feel like when this trailer first dropped, I was like the only person like, what is going on with these giants? Like, no one seems to be talking about the fact that there's like a 9-foot tall infected person. And
Right.
I don't know if I liked the whole inclusion of alphas or berserks or whatever. I don't think, I don't know. I did like the huge penises. That's always fun.
Okay.
That's a good.
Do we need to
water cooler.
elaborate there, or
No, the alpha berserker 9-foot tall infected creatures are they hang dong, serious dong, And they get their fuck on.
Oh
They're
my
actually-
god! There's zombies
there's,
having
like,
sex in this movie.
The zombies are reproducing, which is there's like a lot of implications there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
It's getting a little out there, but like I said, I don't really know what it's trying to say thematically until the entire story's done.
And just for your own benefit, it's pronounced Jimmy Savile, not Seville. Savile. Yeah, so quite important.
He
because
who shall not be named. He's basically Voldemort of England.
he is. I mean, yeah,
Pretty much.
and also Jimmy Seville, who's a different guy, is very upset because people keep mispronouncing his
Oh,
name.
right. Okay, I see. Savile.
Keeps getting hate
well,
mail.
Yeah, the other criticism is soundtrack wasn't as great as the first movie. The first movie's got such a great soundtrack.
Do you know if it's still
and
John
yeah,
Murphy?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the song choices, the soundtrack, not really the
Oh,
score
I see, not the score.
necessarily.
Okay, yeah.
But
Okay.
they do like haphazardly bring back that Godspeed You Black Emperor music from the first one, and it's very try hard. I felt like they could have used some different music there.
That was right. That was right at the beginning in the scene with the church, wasn't it?
Yeah. And, no. Yeah, when he's walking around the deserted city, that's that famous Godspeed
okay. No, I haven't
song.
got that far.
that
The
was
composer on
cool.
this is Young Fathers. That's the name of the composer. That's so quite
Oh.
bizarre.
Okay.
Yeah, that explains that. Yeah, they did the Assassin's Creed music, Trainspotting 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. It's all right. But another big criticism: the zombies, the infected, they're not as visceral, not as scary, not as bloody. I don't know. There's just something kind of lacking when the first compared to the first one.
They tried to humanize them.
Yeah, Rachel.
Yeah, but I'm
did
just
you-
saying their appearance, just their appearance in general. Yeah, I get it. They tried to do like an I Am Legend thing with them now, and I'm not a fan really. But
Rachel,
No.
did you like the movie or nay?
No, I didn't like
Yeah.
it.
not to mention like all the huge like leaps and bounds and like why this shit would make sense, like plot hole wise, like that is a whole
Mhm.
nother conversation. Like
Right, the whole big zombie wiener thing just not working for Rachel. So
no, just like how the hell
No.
is this virus even still around 28 years later when it's that lethal? I mean, viruses this lethal do not spread that widespread and stick around that long. That's the whole point.
okay.
Sounds to me like it was franchise-itis, to be honest, and they're just trying to make it
Yes.
franchise now.
Yes.
So
Yeah, they
Right.
should have left it at
Hey.
just one movie.
Yeah,
Hey,
they
we
really
got
should've.
the uninspired reviewer is in the chat. Not seen him for wow.
Wow.
Literally just got out the cinema F1 in 40X, dude. We were just talking about F1 and we.
Is
people
that
are
where like
breaking
the
it.
chair shakes?
Yeah.
And they throw water
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
face,
yeah,
and you
that-
can
not
smell
only-
you can smell
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's farts.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. So
Awesome.
F1 would be a great film to see in 40X.
Yeah, Nadia does that a lot with her things. I bet that's a fun movie to see in 40X.
Darth Plato for $2 says, I recommend Gettysburg. July 1st was the first day of the battle. Yeah, indeed. In fact, I saw that movie and it was a two-parter over 2 days in the cinema. It is a good film. It's got a great score. It's the battle scenes are a little bit twee, but perfectly acceptable. And it still holds the record for the most fake beards made for a single movie. So yeah, but we'll maybe we'll talk about that on another stream. But yeah, it is a good film. In fact, I think I took part in a stream on someone else's channel with Darth. I think that was on RM's channel back in the day. Yeah, so fantastic. And there's lots of discussion in the chat about breasts and wieners and stuff that we don't need to get onto. But okay, so ratings out of 10, please, for 28 years later. What are we giving it?
5. It's mid.
Oh, Luke?
Yeah, I think I gave it a lower rating, but I might give it a 5 because the first half is really strong. It's just a shame the second half just shits the bed.
Rachel?
I'd give it a 3 or a 4. That's how intensely I disliked a lot of what they did with it. I didn't like the additions to the lore at all. It was unnecessary. It almost ruins the franchise.
Zombie wiener bonage, just not a good thing. Critical, have you seen it?
I've not seen it yet. We only got a cinema in Nottingham like 4 days ago. So the first thing I'm seeing tomorrow is actually the new Jurassic Park to review it.
What happened to all the cinemas that were in the city centre? I know the Odeon and the MGM, they went some time ago, I think, didn't they?
We lost the Cineworld. I don't know if it was the lease or just the amount of money that they wanted. So we lost Cineworld. Right. We had no major cinema for 6 months. Right. The Savoy is too far away for me to get to on the other side of the A5, whatever the hell it is. I don't drive.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah, the Savoy. That sometimes shows older films as well, doesn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
It used to be really cheap. I remember the Savoy.
The only other one I think was the Broadway, which I don't go to. I was waiting for the View to open up. It has finally opened up now, but apparently their air conditioning wasn't working this week, which means it would have been on Earth.
Yeah, the Broadway, I think, was this film that I screened my very first feature film in. Yeah.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, because that's where I was based when I was.
Yeah, I've only seen indie stuff there. We went to see a film that a woman made about guinea pigs. Because my other
did you ever go to Rock City?
Yes, yeah, I'll go to Rock City, check out gigs and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, mate, I went to see Sheep on Drugs play there. I think it was.
Oh, nice.
Don't really remember much about that time period. I've got like really limited memories of that whole.
Nottingham's got such a brilliant gig and metal scene. It really has. We've got loads of great venues and stuff. But yeah, up until recently, we haven't had a main cinema. It's only just opened up, so I'll be able to start reviewing and watching films properly again, which is nice.
I love this, sir. The second cinema has fallen.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we honestly didn't. I mean, I think it's only because Nottingham is such a prominent city that View took it back up. I think cinemas are going to be in a lot of trouble, going forward. Unfortunately,
that's what's interesting to hear, that you didn't have a cinema for 6 months.
6 months didn't have a cinema.
Okay, all right. Well, we're getting towards the end. It's very hot. I'll be quite happy to wrap this up.
3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 for 28 years later for me, by the way.
Thank you very much. Anyone else want to give a rating for 28 years later? Okay. All right. So before we watch the Running Man trailer together and briefly express our opinions, a few announcements to make. So first of all, it's great to hear that Toxic and Enzo will be rustering the Mohiram and coming over especially to see this stage production of mine in October. So I look forward to our reunion, guys. So Seven Magnificent Egos is going on stage. This is my new play about the making of the Magnificent Seven. It's kind of a satirical behind the scenes, very similar to those shows that I think it was Brian Murphy that made those shows, about the rivalry between, was it Betty Crawford and, can't remember what it was called now, but Feud. They were called Feud. I think he did like 2 or 3 seasons of Feud, and it was always about a feud between 2 different actors or 2 different personalities. One of them was about Truman Capote and the Swans. That was a Feud season. So this is in that tone. Tonally, it's kind of in that ballpark where you've got all the actors playing the Magnificent Seven, but they also play all the extras. They play the producers. They play John Sturges, and etc., etc. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Tickets are now on sale. So Northern, I expect you to be reaching for your credit card as I speak. But yeah, so yeah, this is
when
on
are
stage.
the shows? In October?
October. Yeah. So plan for that trip to London, boys. That'd be great to have a little meetup. So that's on for a week in October. I've also got a ton of industry interviews. In particular, I'm supporting a lot of filmmakers with their sort of projects. Some of them are first-time projects. Some of them are people that have been working in the industry a while. This is an interesting one. I'm going to be talking to these guys tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Alexander King, who's the director of Repercussions. He also works as a production designer in LA. And Georgina Akon, or to use her full acting name, I think is Georgina Elizabeth Akon, but you know, we've only got so much room on these thumbnails. She actually was a really good friend of my friend Angela, who passed away, the one who my film The Journey is dedicated to. And the first time Georgina and I met, I'm pretty sure was Angela's funeral. But anyway, we stayed in touch, added each other on Facebook. She's now a jobbing actress in Los Angeles and has worked out there for many years. And she's had some pretty good parts and some pretty good things. So it's nice to get them both on together to talk about this project that they're doing together. So that's going to be tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. And Rachel, if you fancy jumping on that with me, let me know.
I can do that.
Fantastic. Excellent.
Wait, Lance, you're in London, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking 72 degrees over there. What are you talking about?
So hot here right now.
Bro,
Holy
are you
shit.
dude, are you serious right now? You've been telling me for days that it's
Here's the thing.
freaking hot.
Here's what I've heard. I have heard that like Texas 100 feels like England 70 because there's no relief, because there's no air conditioning and all the buildings. So all the buildings are hot. So you're hot all the time.
Yeah. It's really,
but bro, as long as you have as long as you take it from the people who grew up in the Wild West, if you got shade, water, and a hand fan, you'll be fine. You'll get acclimated to it. You'll live. You won't die. Extreme winters will kill you much easier than extreme.
Listen, all you need to know right now is that be grateful that Northern is not on camera because he's sitting there naked with a fan on his balls right now. That's how I'm trying.
And it feels lovely. It feels very refreshing.
I'm like literally, my legs are nearly stuck to the leather chair. It's disgusting.
I've had 5
Are you
showers
guys just like,
today.
are you like reptile people over there in England? Like, what's going on?
Yes. Yeah,
I've had 5 showers. 5 showers today I've had, and I'm going to have another one
because I was looking up the weather and I saw a map talking about how England is like all red, you know, with the heat wave map, and I'm like, okay, how hot is it actually?
It's hot.
Fucking perfect very weather, 72. When you remember when you see Pleasantville, remember the movie Pleasantville? They describe perfect weather. It's 72, highest 72, lowest 72, not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah,
that is what Americans consider.
If they don't have AC and if they can't open their windows for fear of Muslim extremists climbing in their windows, you know, then I could see why that could be a problem because that could be kind of gross. So
smash that like button, people, in the chat, please, if you would.
I mean, to be fair, it was 88 Fahrenheit earlier, not 72. It's only 72 now because it's in the middle of the night. It was bloody warm earlier.
Also, keep in mind, and Zoe's in Texas where it's a dry heat, so he's fine.
I'm in Houston. It's the most humid part of Texas. It's like I got like 100% humidity sometimes. So no, that is not. I grew up in the dry heat.
It's pretty humid here in Kansas. It's like 98 in Kansas.
The heat over here is just it's evil. It's evil. It really is.
Okay, well, look, now we're gonna watch the Running Man trailer, and
Glenn Powell, he's good in most stuff.
And afterwards, I'm going to ask my guests. I don't want to hear your thoughts on it. I simply want this on a rating of 1 to 10. 10 being I'm very excited to see this movie. I must go and watch it. 1 being what? And you're probably not going to go and see it. That's what I want you to give me. So let's check this out. The Running Man, the new.
Stop filming me! Have you ever wondered if this game is rigged?
Okay,
guess we'll find out. You might be moving up too fast.
I think we've seen enough. I've got to say, I think that actually looks like quite a lot of fun.
I'm interested because Ed, you're right, and
Yeah.
That I know people are complaining about the black wife, but she's fine, bro. So I
Yeah.
don't see the problem.
Oh,
here.
that's a major.
What's her name? That's
for me.
what's her name from Sinners, the girl who gets the cunnilingus in the storage room. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it evens out because they swap out Josh Brolin he's written as black in the book, and then he's white in the film. So I guess that's okay.
He's a good villain. Thanos. I love the logo. The logo was great.
Yeah, I like the logo.
Flashing through the little animated running guy.
It's kind of cool that it's set in 2025.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask. Is it just going to set in present day now because like it is 2025, or is it like a slightly tweaked future?
I feel like they're going to do the same thing they're doing with The Long Walk, where it's going to be like an alt version of the time it's set in. So
Hunger Games kind of vibes. No, that was wackadoo future. What
Darth Plato could see Lord Toxic as a hunter in this game. I think I could also see him. And
also,
Pretty Cow would be like release the spiders. You know,
Oh, yeah.
what's her name? What's her name from Love Lies Bleeding? One of my favorite movies from last year. The big muscly chick. She's apparently in it in Running Man. I didn't see her in the trailer though.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're going to start wrapping this up. So, Stupenzo, my regular Texan co-host buddy, what you got coming up? Plug your wares.
What's the movie tomorrow? Carnosaur 2.
Thank you. We'll move on. Go on.
Carnosaur 2 full-length commentary tomorrow. Me and Sammy Threepeat struggling to stay awake for that one. It was a terrible movie. It was worse than the first one. Carnosaur 2.
Pretty
Carnosaur
bad.
2. Yeah, Carnosaur 2 makes Carnosaur 1 look like Jurassic Park 2. I don't know.
Wait till you see the third one.
We are going to watch the third one probably around October, I guess.
Oh my god.
Carnosaur
as well.
2. Full commentary.
Yeah, also, I guess I'm going to go see, I'll probably see Jurassic Park Rebirth tomorrow afternoon.
Afterbirth?
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be funny when Megan 2.0 is the best superhero movie of the summer. That's going to be... We'll see if that happens.
When's Superman dropping?
In 2 weeks. And then Fantastic Four is the week after that.
Yeah, Fantastic Four is 25th of July, I think.
Sorry. So 2 weeks after Jurassic Park. So 3 weeks.
Toxic, what you got coming up, buddy?
I'll be doing a review with Critical Al here pretty soon. We're going to talk about Consider the Source, the Walking Dead, the comic book versus the TV.
I've read the entire graphic novel series.
You are more than invited.
I have the whole thing, and I've seen most of the TV series. So yeah, I could be. When is that? When's that happening?
I'm waiting for Critical Al to give me the.
Yeah, I've got to refresh myself on the comic books because I started reading when it first came out and read them all the way through to the end.
Yeah.
I need to read a few bits again to see where they differ from the TV series because there's stuff in those comic books they'll never be able to put on TV. Ever.
No, and I mean, there's characters in the. I mean, Daryl's not in the comic, you know.
Nope. Not at all.
And then there are other characters that are in the comic that survive all the way through to the end who in the TV series die off relatively early.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of changes. I need to make a few notes, but I would say within the next couple of weeks, guys, we'll be able to get together and do that.
You said next couple of weeks ago.
It wasn't a couple of weeks ago, was it?
Yeah, man.
We haven't talked about it last week. When
guys, don't fight on my channel. No fighting. So,
we'll get it sorted out soon.
Percy, your time's up. Sorry, I'm going to move on.
Okay.
Rachel Percy, we're going to plug your wares here. So if you need someone to paint you a hot black chick, which I mean I frequently do, there's also loads of other stuff that Rachel does. She does everything from landscapes to romantic fantasy couples, lighthouses and such, and also cats. And dogs occasionally, but mainly cats. Lots of cats. I was
wondering what that noise was that I've been hearing throughout the entire stream, and I've only just worked out that it's your bloody cat.
Yeah, there's a lot of cat action. There's a lot of whiskers porn on Rachel's art site. Do check it out. And don't forget she's available for commissions. So if you want to get that painting done for Grandma's 100th birthday, just so she can have it for those last 10 days. Check it out.
Terrible.
So I don't know where that came from. Obviously, I need to work on my stand-up routine. Do check all of that out. Northern, what you got coming up, mate?
Well, I'm going to be tomorrow with Blue Collar Loser and Endzone Critical to basically talk over The Man of Steel.
Yep.
And Saturday, I'll be doing Miami Vice top 5 episodes of season 3, 9 o'clock. And this time it's going to happen. I was supposed to do it last week, but personal stuff came up, which led me to having to delay. But it's going through this time. I've got an intro made for it. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, and rewatching season 3 again. It's, God, I think I'm kind of torn whether season 2 or season 3 is the best series, but season 3 I'm really loving.
I think season 3 is where it's season 3 where it kind of it sort of it hit the ground running. It found its feet. It found its tone.
Hit its stride.
Yeah. Admiral Teague made a good point of it being a bit more grounded. There's less gunfights because Dick Wolf actually came on board to help with the writing. So
right,
yeah, there's obviously a bit of Dick Wolf in there.
Which season was it that Phil Collins was in it and he got killed, didn't he? His character got killed.
Season 1. I don't think he got killed in it, did he? I need to rewatch it again.
There was a character, and I know Collins was in it. Of course, obviously.
No, season 2. He was in season 2. Yeah,
I'm sure his character died, and that was a really sad episode. Yeah, I thought it was the second season, didn't it? It was the first one.
Yeah, Phil the Ship.
Well, have a fantastic time with that. Critic Cow, you got anything you want to plug quickly? Spiders to sell, that sort of thing?
Well, there's always tarantulas on the go, but I'll be reviewing Jurassic Park, and I'm also reviewing an excellent series, a fan series called Star Trek Continues. I'm halfway through watching all of that. Once that's done, I'll be reviewing it because I'm sick of reviewing and talking about.
Is that
shit
the
Star
one?
Trek.
Is that there were 2 really good sort of? They were continuing the original series, and there were 2 different teams that did those.
Yeah. This is the one that Vic Mignogna did with Chris Doohan, James Doohan's son.
Yeah, there was Vic and his team, and then there was James McCauley and his team.
Yeah, this is the Vic one.
I've seen all of them. I've seen all from both teams, and I think both have, some have better actors in certain roles, and some have weaker actors in certain roles, but they both offer quite a lot. They're both really well done, I think.
I think they're the kind of thing where if Gene Roddenberry knew of them, he'd give like a little wry smile and turn over and go back to sleep. Whereas if Gene Roddenberry watched modern Star Trek, he'd start spinning in his grave.
I mean, to be fair, Gene Roddenberry didn't even like Next Generation. And they banned.
Well, no, not after he lost control of it, but he wanted some very strange things in that.
It got much better after he lost control of it. I have to say.
Did. No, I'll freely admit it. But I mean, Star Trek Continues is literally a Star Trek, the original series, season 4. Like it literally continues the story. There's promotions. They start talking about things that happen, and the last episode of it literally leads into the 1979 movie with the change of uniform and everything.
Fantastic.
Very good.
I don't think I've seen that one, so perhaps I need to watch that. It sounded like Rachel had something very important to add to that conversation, but we'll have to wait until next week because it's time for the...
Today